Joubert, J-O-U, B as in Bravo, E-R-T as in Tango. And so today we're here to discuss some important information for travelers who do not have an acceptable form of ID. If you do not have an acceptable form of ID, starting February 1st, you'll have an option to pay $45 to have your identification verified. Identity verification is a crucial layer of security here at the airport. Real ID was enacted in 2005. We started enforcing Real ID in May of last year. And ConfirmID is basically the next step in proving that passengers are who they say they are. It's a three-step process. It's pretty simple. First, make sure you have an acceptable form of ID. If you don't have an acceptable form of ID, and that includes Real ID, passport, trusted traveler cards like trusted traveler cards. Let me start over again. The process is simple. Check and make sure you have an acceptable form of ID. That includes a Real ID, a passport, a trusted traveler card, a military ID, and there are several others that are on our list on TSA.gov. If you have one of those, then you don't have anything to worry about. You're good to go. If you don't, the next step is to go to TSA.gov, go to our ConfirmID page, click on Pay Now, and start the payment process. Once you complete the payment process, you'll get a proof of purchase, which brings you to the next step. Bring that proof of purchase to the airport and present it at the checkpoint. And once you get that done, you can start the identity verification process. Let's see. We strongly urge passengers to get to the airport early if you have to use ConfirmID. The identity verification portion of the process can take 10 to 15 minutes and sometimes longer. So we do encourage you to to allow yourself extra time at the airport. What the $45 gets you is it's good for 10 days. So you can travel as many times as you want within that 10 days. Once that 10 days expires, you'll have to go through the process all over again. So yeah, so you can do it as many times as you want. It's good for 10 days. Now, TSA ConfirmID is meant to provide passengers with a temporary fix until they get an acceptable form of ID. So we strongly urge passengers to get a Real ID or an acceptable form of ID. That's what I have. I'll open it up for any questions you might have.
At this point, how many people do you estimate don't have a Real ID?
Nationally, 6% of the traveling public don't have a Real ID or an acceptable form of ID. So we're doing pretty good, 94%. We'd like to see that increase over the years, for sure.
What if somebody comes to the airport and has not done the payment process?
Well, if you haven't done the payment process when you get to the airport, you'll have to do it then.
What does that entail? How does one go about doing the payment process at the airport?
Well, you'll have to do it online, just like everybody else. You'll have to do it online, so hopefully you'll have internet access through a phone or anything like that. You can go to TSA.gov, go to our ConfirmID site, and pay there.
So you can't do it at the airport?
You can do it at the airport. You just have to access it through your cell phone or your own private computer.
So that, what do you get? You get a piece of paper that says this person's okay, or is it something that's electronic and you keep on?
Yeah, your proof of purchase can be emailed to you. So you can show your proof of purchase on your email to the officer when you get to the checkpoint. If you like, you can print it out. If you're at home and you have access to a printer, you can do it that way as well.
If I were to come to the airport, pay it here, and I'm going to Chicago, do I need to pay again to come back?
Not if it's within that 10-day period. So, yeah, like I said, once you pay the $45 fee from your time of flight, on your first flight, you'll have 10 days after that, and it'll still be valid.
You may not be able to answer this, but the cost of getting a real ID driver's license is a little bit more than a regular driver's license. I mean, at some point, it's like, you're losing money if you keep going through this $45 thing.
Yeah, it would be cheaper to get a real ID than to keep paying the $45 every time you need to fly. And that's why we're encouraging people to either get your real ID or to get another form of an acceptable form of ID.
I'm good.
Okay. Let me make sure I didn't miss something. That's it. Went quicker than I thought.
Okay.
But we have a wealth of information about ConfirmID, how to register and everything on our website, tsa.gov. And the other 3 simple steps are see if you have a real ID. If you don't, go to tsa.gov, pay the $45 fee, then take your proof of purchase to the airport and begin the identity verification process. Simple as that.
Something you could possibly get something where they go through to confirm ID for that 10-day period, or is that something?
Well, you'll have your proof of purchase. So if you have that proof of purchase on your email or a printed copy, that's what you would present to the airport every time throughout that 10-day period. If you go past that 10-day period, then you'll have to redo the payment process again.
How long does TSA plan to keep this in effect until they say no more? If you don't have anything,
As it stands now, it's indefinite.
Thank you.
Thank you.